Let's go ahead and get started on our topic, and that is what should you be asking an accountant prior to working together? If your business, regardless of the type of business that you are running, you're pondering this question: should I hire an outside accountant? And you're at the point where now you're ready to talk to a few, which we highly recommend. So you need to know what types of questions you should be asking. And that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to talk about those types of questions as it pertains to all businesses. And then we will talk about those questions that pretty much relate only to nonprofit organizations. The best way to find the right accountant for your company is just simply by asking the right questions. So before you entrust your finances to someone outside of your organization, make sure that they are the right fit in every respect, and that you will certainly get the support that you need. You don't want to end up having to end a relationship shortly down the road after beginning this relationship. So when your financial management accounting becomes more fast-paced, more complicated, you might need professional help. And that's where accounting firms come in. So choosing the right firm is very important for your organization. Besides just crunching numbers and filing taxes, professional accountants can help you make the best financial decisions for your organization. Given the unique accounting information from the books that they have to work with, your books. If you choose an accounting professional who also has been around a while and also is business savvy, they likely can also give you good, solid, just business advice. So choosing the right financial professional will help you and your organization work towards growth and milestones. So you need to choose an experienced, accredited accountant. It is highly important to make sure that they are equipped to handle the specific demands of your company. So like so many other professions, accountants can specialize in different skill sets in areas of accounting. For example, some accountants specialize in taxes. Other accountants specialize in personal financial planning. Other accountants who are CPAs specialize in audits. Other accountants may specialize in just providing accounting services. So you need to understand the different skill sets in areas of accounting that your potential accountant offers. You'll want to make sure your candidates have the right fit based on whether you are a for-profit organization or a nonprofit organization, since there are several major differences in reporting and compliance for both types of companies. So in addition to you doing thorough research, you'll want to engage accountants directly in terms of interviewing and speaking with them as often as much as possible to make sure that it is the right fit. This will save you and your company time, and you'll be at the point where you will have found the right partnership by knowing exactly what to look for. So by knowing exactly what to look for, you will be on the path to finding the right partnership. And I want to emphasize that is that working with your accountant should be a partnership, not just a number cruncher, but someone that you can rely on to provide sound, solid advice, someone that is interested in understanding your business, someone that is interested in knowing what your business goals are, mission, objectives, short-term goals, and long-term goals. And in light of those, can help you from a financial standpoint to achieve those goals. So the questions that you should ask your accountant, there are several questions that we're going to cover. Some of them are more geared towards for-profit organizations, and others are geared towards nonprofit organizations, and some of them apply to any type of organization. So your goal as an organization is to achieve revenue increases, and that applies to nonprofits and for-profits while minimizing the cost of doing business. So you will want an accounting firm or an accountant that will help you maximize your cash flow and also help you in whatever way that they can to achieve profitability, whether through business advice or helping you to keep very solid records that will be an advantage in applying for loans or other funding. There is a direct connection between the quality and caliber of your accounting records and financial reports and your ability to successfully apply for funding. There are various factors that come into play when applying for funding, getting a loan or applying for funding, whatever type of funding it might be. But certainly financial statements, credible numbers is a huge part of it as well. So here are some questions that you should consider asking. The first is, are you a certified public accountant, CPA? And what other credentials do you hold? Only deal with qualified accountants. Now, I'm not saying only deal with CPAs. What I am saying is it is important to know whether your accountant that you are considering dealing with is a CPA. If they are not, they can be very well qualified. You just need to know what experience they have and other credentials that they may have. So they may have, a bachelor's or master's degree, but they may not have their CPA, but they have loads of years of experience working with companies of your type. Those are the types of things that you need to understand. But particularly the CPA certification shows you that this particular accountant has and will continue to have up-to-date knowledge of the best and current accounting practices. Again, what services do you offer? Second questions. All organizations should be asking specifically, what services do you offer? Accountants may specialize in certain areas of accounting. So make sure that the ones that you're engaging with, they are equipped to meet your exact needs in a way that will obviously help your business and allow you to continue to thrive and continue to grow. The third question that all businesses, nonprofit and for-profit, You should all be asking the potential accountant, if this is something that you are interested in, is can you help me with day-to-day accounting? Do you really want to have to manage transactions and reconciliations and recording payroll and running reports and processing bills and doing all these things? Maybe you do, or maybe you want some help with that, or maybe you don't want to deal with it at all. If you don't want to deal with any of that, then you can allow your accountant, your potential accountant, to handle all of that for you. But you need to make sure that the accountants that you're speaking with offer that service and that they offer it well. You probably want to focus more on the actual business that you have to run. So make sure that your accountant has the bandwidth to do all of these day-to-day accounting tasks if you need them, in addition to higher level services, okay? The business advisory and other things coming into play. Another question that is very, very important is compliance. Can you help me with financial compliance? You know, for-profit companies are subject to a number of federal and industry reporting standards, you know, the general acceptable accounting principles. There's compliance around payroll if you have employees. There are just various federal compliance requirements at all levels, federal, state, local. And so make sure your accountant can help you meet the specific compliance requirements. Now, they're not responsible, you are as a company, but your accountant can certainly help you to understand some of those. And if you outsource some reporting from relating to some of those compliance requirements, and they're able to do that, that's all well and good. But do understand that management is responsible for compliance requirements, but you certainly can enlist the help and advice of your accountant. Another question that is very, very, very important for all organizations seeking an accountant is, what technology are you using? Now, we all know that everything has been accelerated. With COVID-19, technologies that were in place prior to COVID-19 got accelerated 1,000-fold. Many people were not using the technologies that we're having to use today, digital technology, virtual meetings, etc. Many people were forced to do so, and now it's become a way of life. But there are other technologies that are important to know whether or not your accounting firm has in place. The first is the type of accounting systems that they use and or support. Digital accounting is faster, more accurate, and easier to manage than ever before. So make sure your accountant is up to date, not only on the latest and best practices, but also using software that will help deliver information faster and more effective to you. So you want to ask about whether or not there are desktop or cloud-based accounting systems that are being used. You also want to ask about the method, the types of technologies that will be used to communicate back and forth with you and deliver your information to you in a secure and efficient manner. That's very important when you're dealing with an accountant. You will be relaying or having relayed to you sometimes highly secure, highly confidential information, Well, financials can be so, and you want to ensure that they have systems in place to accommodate that. Typically, email is not that unless it is encrypted. So you certainly want to spend some time talking about the technologies that the accountant has in place. And since we are on technology, another question to ask the accountant is, do you have information security policies? The bottom line is you want to make sure, even with your business, that you have policies in place around information security, databases, access, passwords, all things relating to computer usage, policy, all of those things. And so you ought to understand whether or not your accountant or potential accountant has those policies in place as well, including policies, procedures in place around cyber security, which is big, very, very important. No one wants to be on the end of a cyber attack, not you and not your accountant, because if your accountant is a victim of a cyber attack, then likely your accountant's clients would also be affected. So make sure that is a question that you are asking. Another question that you should ask an accountant, whether you're a for-profit or a nonprofit organization, is, can you help us prepare for our financial statement audits? Now, if you are a company that has an annual audit of your financial statement, you know that there are a lot of things that would need to be done in order for you to be prepared to give to your independent accountant, that auditor that you have coming into your organization every year to look at your financials and look at all of these documents and schedules and everything that they ask for. They ask for a lot, and they tell you exactly what you will need ahead of time. Do you, as an organization, have the bandwidth to provide all of that and the knowledge to provide all of that? If not, and you want to enlist the services of an accountant to help you with that, then that is one of the service offerings that you should be asking about. Can they assist with the financial statement audit preparation? Yes, they are your financial statements, but certainly your accountant who is knowledgeable in this area can be of a great assistance in helping your organization to prepare for this audit. In many cases, they can help all the way through, all the way up until the point where the audit is complete and you have an audit report.